Karen's sisters find me for locking my yard gate. Seriously? You'd think that locking my own gate, me own property would be no one's business but mine. But nope, those Karen sisters took it upon themselves to slap a ridiculous fine on me. Like, are we living in a dictatorship now? Ugh. I'm still shaking my head just thinking about it. What gave them the right? The nerve? So I did what anyone pushed to the edge would do, hit back, and hard. It started with that gate. For months, I've been keeping it locked tight. You see, my yard isn't just a patch of grass, it's where I keep my prize bulls. Big, loud, and yes, a little wild. But I locked that gate for their safety and mine. Not because I wanted to ruffle feathers. But the Karen sisters Margie and Denise decided my locked gate was against HOA rules. Find me on the spot. When I tried to reason with them, they just smirked and said, rules are rules. But whose rules? Their rules? What about common sense? I could feel my blood simmering, but I kept my cool until they started calling me, that rude neighbor, to everyone in the HOA meetings. Oh, I'm rude because I protect my own property? Because I'm not letting them walk all over me? Yeah, right. So when the letter arrived, a lawsuit threatening me if I didn't pay the fine, I knew it was time for a little payback. And not just any payback. I wanted to show them exactly how it felt to have chaos unleashed where they least expected it. So, I did the unthinkable. I decided to let my bulls roam. Right into their pristine little park. Yeah, you heard me. Those massive beasts, known for their earth-shaking stomps and thunderous bellows, tearing up the perfectly manicured lawns, smashing picnic tables, and scattering their precious garden gnomes like rag dolls. The day the bulls got loose was the day the Karen sisters' world turned upside down. I still remember the sound, the low grunts, the pounding hooves, the screams from the neighbors. Margie was practically shrieking, "Get them out. Call animal control." Denise was on the phone, face as pale as a ghost, her usual smugness evaporated. The bulls charged right through the gazebo, sending decorations flying. The air was thick with dust and the smell of trampled flowers. And all I could do was watch, half amused, half amazed. Oh my God, this can't be happening. Margie yelled, dodging a charging bull that knocked over her favorite rose bush. "You're going to pay for this," she screamed, eyes wild with fury and fear. But it was too late. The damage was done. Their so-called peaceful community was in ruins. But here's the twist nobody saw coming while all this chaos was unfolding. Guess who called the cops? The Karen sisters. Yep. And when they arrived, the officers immediately noticed the bulls weren't trespassing for fun. Turns out, the Karen sisters had ignored some serious safety issues with their own park's fencing. You know, the fence they said was perfectly fine during HOA meetings. Well, it wasn't. That's how the bulls got in. They'd left a gaping hole hidden behind some bushes like a secret invitation. When the officers pointed it out, the sisters' faces dropped. All their self-righteous anger flipped into desperate apologies. But the damage? The whole neighborhood was buzzing about it. And guess what? The HOA board started questioning the sisters' judgment. I even heard whispers of another lawsuit, this time against Margie and Denise for negligence and property damage. Now, I'm not saying I'm a saint. I let those bulls run wild on purpose, yeah. But honestly, can you blame me? When someone fines you unfairly, threatens you with a lawsuit for locking your own gate, and then hides their own mistakes, you fight back. Hard. Sometimes, karma's got a loud, stomping hooves kind of way to deliver justice. The aftermath? The Karen sisters were forced to pay for the park's repairs out of their own pockets. And I got a call from the HOA asking if I'd consider sitting on the board. Suddenly, the rude neighbor became the voice of reason. Funny how that works. But the best part? At the next HOA meeting, Margie tried to lecture me about community rules again. Only this time, the room was filled with eyes rolling so hard you could hear it. I leaned in, smiled, and said, maybe next time, don't fine your neighbors unfairly. Or you might just get a herd of bulls as a surprise guest. The whole room erupted in laughter. Even the HOA president couldn't hold back a grin. So yeah, those Karen sisters learned the hard way: never mess with someone who owns bulls, and definitely never underestimate the power of a locked gate. Justice served, loud and clear. If you enjoyed this wild tale of HOA drama, revenge, and a lawsuit that turned the tables, hit that subscribe button on my YouTube channel for more stories that'll keep you on the edge of your seat.